Yo, what is going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. It is now November. We're very close. Got the Christmas lights on. Gonna have more Christmas lights in the background because Erica gets really excited about Christmas. So I start setting up Christmas stuff a little bit earlier. With that, celebration, Thanksgiving. We get to be thankful for Hyros putting out great patches very often. We've got a little bit of a balanced bug patch with it. Not a massive patch, but just a little bit. And I think it's important to take a look at it just to see what's happening with the game. And before we read into any of the actual balance changes, these balance patches are getting a little bit more important because we're getting closer and closer to Vegas. And Vegas is the tournament that's played on LAN. It's the one that's going to be streamed and hopefully broadcast in front of thousands of people. Something that I can maybe talk about and give you guys like an idea of what to expect to see or what to expect to not see, whether it's really good or really bad. Closed alpha 5, 11.4 patch number 2. Today is the 4th for me. It's the patch drop today. Fixed an issue with all gods being locked in the match lobby. Not something I really deal with. Alma fixed an issue where Alma's basic attack chain did not do proper damage on all hits. This is a bigger bug for strength Alma. Intelligence Alma doesn't really get bothered too much by that. Fixed an issue where ability misses smaller gods at point blank range. I actually have had this happen a lot recently. Dishonest duplication. Fixed an issue where the description not properly indicate how much bonus damage the clones are taking. There's also an issue with Danza that I think really affects him. When you ult and stun somebody when you jump in the rocket, you have like this half second of being unable to do anything other than move. You can't cast, you can't auto. Or maybe you can auto. Maybe you just can't cast abilities. But that makes it feel really bad to all in somebody because you could die before you can even get an ability off. But this is still nice. The Morrigan fixed cast mode ability for setting in gameplay being overridden from global. Okay. Soul Disapparate fixed ability from destroying Danza Bros money bags. Okay. Destol and Death Embrace not proccing on structures anymore, which is pretty big. And into the God Balance. Hecate triplicate form. Her 1 is now on a 9-second cooldown scaling to 7. And this is the first ability you max. So this is a massive buff for Hecate. Level 1, maybe even like level 3. You put that second point into your 1 just because of the cooldown now. But at least level 1, level 4, level 6, level 7. Huge buffs. And there probably is, because I'm pretty sure ultimate goes down in cooldown also. You're probably point saving on your 2, 3. And then going ult and 1 at level 9. Because this is a pretty important change for Hecate. So yeah. Big change, big buff for Hecate. Loki getting a couple nerfs. Vanish, the base damage, good. This is what I told him to nerf. Loki's vanish damage is just way too high. 35 going down, 5 at all ranks. And then it's also losing 5% strength, which is, this is the bigger portion of it. This 30 early game, it procs 4 times, and then it's also your auto attack. So instead of being 140 plus 50 from your auto attack, equaling out to 190, it'll only be 170, which is still a ton, but it's a lot less broken. And then Agonizing Visions is now a 13-second cooldown instead of a 12. I must rather them hit the 3 for farming sake in the early game. Go from 8 to 9 on that instead of 12 to 13 on your 2. But I guess this hurts his poke build, which is really annoying. So maybe this is why they opted into nerfing the 2. Decent nerfs for Loki, though, for sure. Especially when Loki is far and away the second best jungler. I think Fenrir is still the best, but maybe that opens an opportunity for Susano and Thana to be played. Raw buffs, Divine Light increasing the damage by 10 flat and also 10% scaling, which is a lot of damage. And then Solar Blessing is also increasing the damage scaling per tick, which is useless. It's good for, I guess, objectives. So like Gold Fury, Fire, Pyros, Naga buffs, that stuff. Maybe it's a little something, but say you're at 200, 300 intelligence for most of the game. This is coming out to 10 to 15 damage, which is pretty irrelevant. Per tick, 10 to 15 per tick. Sobek nerfs. Cooldown reduction now only granted when hitting gods. Probably should happen. Lurking in the waters is also getting nerfed. I was really hoping they were gonna hit the the 1 cooldown. His ultimate is like good, but his ultimate isn't his issue. His issue is his super low cooldowns. He has 12-second 1, 12-second 2, 12-second 3. 3 also gets reduced from hitting gods. And it was on minions also. But it just made it so he was just spamming abilities all the time, especially with the base cooldown from like Genji's and Breastplate and stuff like that. It was really OP. Well, maybe not OP. It was really oppressive. Now that they're hitting the cooldown reduction on the 3, it's still a 12-second cooldown, so it's still going to be very good. To be honest, I don't think this hurts Sobek like at all. I think Sobek, if you thought Sobek was annoying before this, he's going to be annoying after it. Zeus nerf, Chain Lightning, decreasing the damage from 80 up to 280. Wow, okay, so they're double hitting this. Chain Lightning is now scaling at 10% less and is also doing 20 less damage in the late game base. So it goes down 0 damage level 1, 5 level 2, 10 level 3, 15 level 4, and 20 level 5. And then couple more changes. We get to item balance. Both of the get big items, the ones that increase your intelligence to your strength, are now going from 180 seconds down to 120 seconds. Berserker Shield is getting a buff duration up from 5 to 8. Okay. They gutted Berserker's last patch. Yeah, this doesn't help it because the Berserker's passive is just not worth it. This passive, while below 60% health, you become Berserk for 8 seconds. While Berserk, you gain 30 protections and 15% attack speed. While you're above 60% health, you have 0 protections from this item. And then when you drop below it, you do get those 30 protections and you get that attack speed. But if you're only getting protections when you're low, you're getting bursted down to that 60 so quickly. And then at that 60, you have to kind of leave that fight quicker, or you have to leave that 1v1 quicker because you're in, you know, lethal range. So it is a buff, but the item is still completely gutted from before that this really doesn't do too much. Amanita Charm is getting an extra 100 health, which is a little bit bigger than just getting 100 health because you're also getting the passive a little bit more health. So 3.5 health extra every proc of the mushroom, no matter what. I mean, it's a solid statted item. I think this is a good 6th item or 5th item in support. You can't really go it early anymore, but something like you get like purification, and then you get maybe breastplate, and then spirit robe, and then another health item, and then you get Amanita Charm. I think that kind of can round out your build pretty well. The problem is, though, you're only allowed 3 actives, and in support, you kind of have to go purification every single time. There's a lot of relevant actives for support that you have to kind of build into. I think this Pharaoh's Curse item is broken. Phoenix Feather is very, very good. Purification is probably the best item in the game. Probably every single game you're gonna have to build it. Life Binder is really good. Jade Scepter is really good. Hussar's Wings are really good. Screeching Gargoyle is really good. Cersei's Hex Stone is a little expensive, so it makes it hard to go, but I still think it's pretty good. If you want the wards, the Eye of Providence is really good. There's just a lot of items kind of needed in support, so it makes it iffy to be able to go into it, but I do think if you don't have 3 actives, I think it's a really good 5th, 6th item in your build. And lastly, Prophetic Cloak is getting an adjustment. Adjusted the recipe from Engraved Guard to Sage's Ring and Captain Ring. Removed the health, added 20 cooldown rate, dropped the protections by 5, but increased the max stacks from 15 to 20. So that is an interesting change. I didn't see this. I saw somebody type, Genetics typed in the chat, the Discord, saying he likes this change. And this is a really interesting change. I'm pretty sure they have Prophetic Live already on here. Okay, so I was mistaken. I thought it was a health item combined with it. But now, I actually think this is a really cool change to Prophetic, because I think it was 100 health before. Now it is, you're losing a little bit of base protections, but you're getting a ton of cooldown to allow you to spam to get stacks faster. You are losing that little bit of health, but it was a low percentage anyway. But now you can also go higher on your stacks. I mean, it takes longer to get those stacks. You'll need now 20 of both physical and magical. But I think it is a pretty interesting change. I think it is a nerf to it instantly when you buy it. Actually, it's probably even a buff because 20 cooldown rate is pretty real. Yeah. I think it's a buff at all points until like 20 minutes into the game when you should be finished stacking it, versus now it'll probably be 25, maybe 30. So it is a stronger at most points, slight spot where it's a lot weaker, and then late game it's going to be a stronger item too. So yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting change. I kind of like that. I'm gonna have to try this item. If you guys are watching this video, I'm gonna be live on Twitch right now, probably playing Smite still. Maybe I switched over to League by now. It's noon. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the patch notes. Curious how you guys are thinking about any of this stuff. Is there any god that you guys think sticks out as being massively bloated and broken, or really weak and needs a buff? Let me know. I'm curious. I think Thanos is still pretty much in need of a buff. I think Ares is really weak right now. I don't think any god really needs a nerf. I mean, Baron still needs a CC nerf. I'm still very much in the opinion of Baron's kit breaks the game. Fenrir got that nerf to his ultimate, so he's worse, but I still think... I'll say Fenrir's fine for now, but Baron needs a CC nerf. Ultimate should be like 200 seconds with its current strength, honestly. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys again next time. Peace.